I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. Shelby County Supervisors, it's Tuesday, January 17th. You guys have any conflict of interest on the agenda today?
None.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We have approval of the January 10th minutes. Any correction changes, Mark?
No, sir. As published.
Any questions, guys?
Nope.
No.
Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Claims posted for January 12th. Any questions on that? Motion to approve is presented.
Motion.
Motion by Bryce, second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Treasurer's semi-annual report. Morning, Carol.
Good morning, everyone. So yes, our
Do you have a
semi-annual
copy? Okay.
report. And extra. So the top one is the most current, which reflects July 1st through December 31st of 2022. And I just attached the one from last year in case you wanted to do any comparisons. The look, as you will see, is a little bit different because of the new financial program, but same type of information that's on there. And no significant changes, really. What I balanced to is the column that says the ending treasurer's balance, which is the third one over from the left. Ending treasurer's balance, which goes on over to the second page. And I'm certifying to you today that I balance with that amount to the penny.
So I'm a little confused. When you compare the second page, it doesn't show you say the first one, well, it's from July to December, shows an end balance of 432, and the next page shows 726.
So, but that is from
1 year ago.
1 year ago.
Right?
Right. So I don't have any control of what general basic spends, but I'm looking at the very bottom on the second page, the 9 million figure is what I balance to.
Oh, excuse me. I'm looking at this as a second
Nope,
page, not
nope.
even.
It's on the back, sorry.
Okay, on the back.
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes.
Okay.
And likewise, the back side of the other paper in comparison to that. And like if you're comparing like each fund, you know, for example, general basic, you know, there's maybe a difference in there, but maybe a piece of equipment was purchased. For example, you know, now we have a zero balance in mental health, the 0010 fund, whereas last year, that was like 220-some thousand, 221-some thousand.
Okay, is there any concern because of the difference?
No, because like I said, it can be explained, like I said, there's just a little bit of a difference, what is it? Around, I think 600 and some thousand, if I remember correctly. But like I said, just at a quick look, mental health would compensate for 200,000 of that. And then general basic is a little bit lower, but maybe, you know, sometimes we were doing transfers or maybe there were some purchases made right before the end of the year, so.
Okay. This is a question I've been wanting to ask you anyway, but the property taxes we collect in a year, you know, or even compared to last year, what % of that do we collect?
Well, when it comes to the tax sale time in June, pretty much all taxes are collected except for some mobile homes. And those eventually get collected because we put stops on their motor vehicle renewals.
So at
But I
90,
would say 99.9%.
at the very end.
It's usually
Yeah, and then.
So it might be
and then eventually-
95 until the tax sale, and then
Correct.
the tax sale will take you up to about, yeah. So
Right.
we
Like I
get
said-
almost all of it at somewhere or another.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, and I do like comparisons, like in November, we sent out delinquent notices. We had about 200 less actual papers. The notices might have 2 or 3 parcels on it.
Right.
But, you know, there was like 400 pages where sometimes there's been 600 and some pages in November,
Wow.
so.
Okay. So you feel good where we're at?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any
Any other
concerns?
questions? No. No. Things are going well with the financial program now, and reports are becoming easier to run and
More familiar?
that they all jive together, and yes, yep. But we have end-of-month procedures that we go through with that, but yeah, it's just like it was a year ago, so
Okay.
easy.
You like it better than the old one?
Do you need a motion to accept
Yes.
this?
Sure can, it wouldn't
Yes.
hurt.
Yeah, I do, because I.
Okay.
Make that motion.
Okay.
I'm
Motion
sorry,
by
what was your
Charlie.
question?
You like it better than the old one?
Some aspects, yes. Some aspects, yes. There's a lot of reports that you can do, and you don't know if you're overdoing it or underdoing it, but I always think more is better for this situation, so, yeah. And the auditors, we did, the state auditors, last fall, we did just fine with those, and that transition, and them understanding our new system and showing them how it all works, so, yeah.
Cool.
We're in a good place.
Okay. A motion by Bryce, second by Charlie, to accept the treasurer's semi-annual report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Thanks, Carolyn, appreciate it.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Just another little, with a quarterly report, if you want to take one of those and pass along too. What this is our calendar year revenues for motor vehicle and driver's license that I usually, I keep track of and present to you every year as well. You'll see that there's, in the column that says, for example, driver's license to county, we're up quite a bit, couple $1,000, and when you take into consideration that we only get to keep $7 per driver's license, it takes a lot of driver's license issuances to get those numbers to where they are, so, on a daily basis. In fact, that's one of the things that the Treasurers Association is trying to lobby for, legislate for, is, and I'll just read it, this is from Iowa State Association of Counties for non-resident driver's license issuance and renewals. The problem is that under the current law, an individual can receive an initial issuance or renewal of a driver's license or non-operator's identification card in any county. So some counties see a large number of out-of-county individuals receiving their services in their county. This is especially true in smaller population counties such as ours, which have a neighboring county with larger population counties like Potawatomi County, because of the shorter wait times and logistics. Because of fees retained by the county does not cover the cost of providing this state service at the local level, property taxes subsidize it. In some counties, out-of-county residents constitute a large portion or even a majority of the customers for this service, and the home county property taxpayers are subsidizing it, which is very true for us. We see a lot of Potawatomi County customers. So the solution to this is to hopefully amend Iowa Code to authorize a county to charge a convenience fee of $10 for the issuance of an initial or renewal driver's license or non-operator's identification card for individuals that are neither a resident nor a property taxpayer in the county of issuance. So, don't know if
Is
that will
anybody
make it
sponsoring
through.
that bill? Because I've heard that before.
So the treasurers are doing that, and ISAC is behind us on this
Okay.
right now, so.
But you don't know if there's been any bill introduced yet?
No, it's
Okay.
just kind of in the beginning stages right now. And a lot of the times, fees are a turnoff for, legislators and things like that. They don't want to keep charging people, but on the flip side of it, in our case, for example, Shelby County should not have to
Right.
subsidize our employees and our time to do all of these.
Another unfunded mandate.
And another, and now with the possibility down the road, we already can do motor vehicle titles for new vehicles for contiguous county titles, and it's going to become that same way with used vehicles as well. So
Okay.
that's what we have going on. Some of the other just little factors on there. So like, for example, the titles, we get out of a $25 title fee, the county gets to keep $2.50. So some of those numbers, it takes a lot to get those numbers up to where they are. We only get 4% of the total collection of each annual or semi-annual vehicle registration. So with those numbers being so low, what we get comparison to what the state gets, The numbers don't add up very fast, but they're high numbers over the course of a year. So that's just for your information. It doesn't
Okay.
need to take any action on that or anything.
Yep.
I just present that to you on an annual basis and give you the prior year, so if you want to do any comparisons.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next up, Brandon, County Engineer Report.
Chamber,
You missed,
doesn't matter.
don't have it on here. Okay.
Oh,
Hey Todd, good morning.
Morning.
No, I already got some.
Yeah, no, this will be quick.
sorry.
So we'll be having our first board meeting of the new year this afternoon, and we'll be covering some of the things that we've been talking about in here recently, the social media engagement that we were doing, and review those, the hotel motel committee changes that have taken place, and a couple of economic development updates. Just a reminder, right now for you and for the public, we have our nomination forms out there for Volunteer of the Year, and we would like to get those back in by Friday, so we have time to go through them and make a decision. And then on this February 17th, that evening, that'll be when we have our awards banquet, so that'll be one of the awards that's given out. We'll also be having our first legislative coffee on Saturday, and this one will be out at the Chamber Atrium at 10 o'clock. And then I got a notice yesterday, if you didn't see it, that Joni Ernst will be here Saturday afternoon, at 3:30 at the high school for a town hall. So good opportunity for us to hear from both our federal and our state representatives on the hot topics and what's going on right now. So good. Other than that, like I said, it's just the new year, so we're just getting things going. Not a ton of events going on yet, but we'll get some things cranked up here real soon.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the updates.
Thank you.
Brandon, County Supervisor Report. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Brandon.
Charlie, got a few things for action items on the agenda today.
I do. Maybe start off with the fuel bid, do that every year.
Okay.
Last year, we upped it to 100% of the fuel we're gonna use. We left it at that, just with the uncertainty in the world. I think prices are a little bit down from kind of what we saw a couple months ago, so. We received bids from Agriland and Farm Service. Agriland was $7,000 lower. Their total bid was $680,751.70. And Farm Service Co-op was $687,230. It's higher than last year. It's significantly higher than last year, but with what's going on in the world, I guess my recommendation is.
Who has it presently? FSC?
FSC has it, yep, so it's switching back.
Okay. Any changes you made to it, or any
No.
other requirements? or
No, it's exactly the same as last year.
Just money, which is a little
Just-
different.
Yeah, the money's different.
Significant. Okay.
That's
So you've
kind of
been
what
pretty
it is.
close on what you've been contracting as far as gallons? Is
Yep.
that about the same?
We just ran out of diesel, and I think we were contracted maybe 4,000 gallons more gas than we actually used this year. But I think Doug said he could fit it, but it might spill, a couple hundred gallons might spill out the top, so
No.
instead of doing that, we just
Moved on.
4,000. But no, we were.
Oh, it's been a good
very
process.
close.
So you're recommending Agriland?
Yes.
And their bid? Do I have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce to take Agriland as the new fuel contract for this year. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay.
All right. Next, I have Resolution 2023-7. It is the bridge embargo resolution. Annually, for all the weight restrictions on our bridges, we have to get a resolution passed so the weight restrictions are enforceable by law enforcement if someone goes through. If we don't have this resolution in place and have a 3-ton bridge and someone takes a semi over it and takes it down, they assume that the bridge is legal weight without this resolution in place. So then I did kind of do some numbers. We currently have 65 posted bridges, 2 closed, and 2 legal 1-lane posted bridges. If the legislature wouldn't have raised the weight limits from 28/40/40 to 38/48/48 2 years ago, we'd only have 34 posted bridges.
Out of a total of how many bridges?
183, I believe.
So about a third. Okay.
And we'd be a 6th if they wouldn't have raised. And that's basically for special haul vehicles. 7-axle dump trucks is what we have to rate for now. And they're
Okay.
legal up to 38 tons, so.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the resolution 2023-7 for the bridge embargo?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried.
Next resolution is 2023-8. It is the road embargo resolution that we do annually. And this is basically in the spring or times like now when the frost decides
Yesterday
to
would have
go.
been one of those, and
Yeah.
if it was March.
Yep. No, it's not great being 50 degrees in January. but,
No, and it rains.
Yeah, yeah. But basically, if the gravel roads get very soft, I'll talk with the chairman. This gives us the latitude to put the embargo on without having a board meeting prior to. 'cause-
Last year we didn't have to do it at all, and the year before we did it a couple times.
Right.
But there's always about a 2-week period there total of days
It's iffy.
that
yeah.
we need to keep them off if possible. It really saves the roads a lot, as you well know.
It does, right.
So, yep, so we'll have that, we would have that ready to go. You guys have any other questions on that?
No.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve 2023-8 that roadway embargo?
Motion?
Motion by Bryce.
Second.
Second by Charlie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay,
And-
thanks for bringing that to our attention.
Yes, and the last item I have is a surface transportation block grant application. Charlie is on that committee with me, the RPA committee, and basically it's about $360,000 a year. Currently, I think with the Build Back Better, I believe, or the infrastructure bill, we're supposed to get more, but they haven't given us our projections yet. But basically, this is proposed to take about $680,000 right now. If we get more for Build Back Better infrastructure, we'll have to add that to this project. But to take
Okay.
that money and add 1.4 million from our farm to market to do F32 from Highway 59 over to M47. And that's what we would put on this. We kind of talked to Bryce in the future, we can add roads to it, but this would just be for this stretch of road, we'd be applying for that federal money because if we add stuff to it, it gets a lot dirtier. There can be alternate divisions to the plans added.
When do you think this would go into effect as far as getting it done?
The summer of 2027, I believe.
Oh, so it's a ways out there.
Either 2027 or 2028. But the group doesn't like to see people come in the accomplishment year and take the money. We've all kind of agreed.
Yeah.
Year 4.
We'll plan for
We'll
it.
plan for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They take it out as they need it, and
Then what happens
Right.
if infrastructure money comes up? Does that just get added to this?
Right.
Or-
Every year we redo the TAP, which is what this comes from, the transportation, or not TAP, the TIP, Transportation Improvement Program. And we can reallocate our money if we get more of an expenditure. This is basically just saying that you guys recommend this project for use of
Most
these
of we've
funds.
had, yeah. Okay. Okay. Do I have a motion for
Motion.
transportation block grant approval?
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And then I guess just a brief update. We're supposed to get some snow tomorrow, so be out with snow plows 5 to 5. Everything's getting ready today. I've been hauling rock the last week, so trucks are cleaned up, get the sanders and plows on them. Getting the loaders ready, because if we don't chain them up and put the V-plows on them, we'll need them. And one guy doing that, it's not fun, so getting everything ready today. The graders will be out as the weather permits. If it's snowing 1 or 2 inches an hour, the plows will be out, but the graders probably won't be until Thursday. So
Okay.
we'll prioritize it as such, and every storm's different, and
Yep.
make the best decisions we can. These past couple weeks, we've hauled some rock to spots. We've got some calls just with this first spring we've had here in January. So if anybody's got any spots, we hauled some rock to one spot today that a guy took a wrong turn off of 59 and went down part of a dirt road and then tore up part of a rock road, pulling him out. So we got that fixed just because someone couldn't get out of their driveway. The ruts were so deep. But if you got spots, let us know. We try to get them taken care of, but it needs to refreeze. That would be very ideal. And then the long-awaited F-24 letting is tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
I heard back. I touched base with Sunquist yesterday. They've heard back from 3 potential bidders. One has turned in what they need to, so the other 2 were inquiring, and it sounded like they were gonna turn their bids in, so I'll touch base with Troy up there.
So we won't have the problem with
Today.
people not getting stuff done like last time?
No, we'll at least have 1 responsive bidder this year,
Okay.
so.
We have no control over that, but
Right.
that's what happened last year.
Right, that was about the most disappointed I've been in a long time, getting back and seeing 3 irresponsive bidders, so.
Okay.
That's what I have for today, so.
Curious, still having a rock haul this spring? Have you
That's the-
set a map for that yet, or?
That's the plan. We have between 48 and 50 miles on it currently, but we'll see how this spring reacts.
Right.
If we're currently doing some stockpiling in the yard with some local guys, and if we need rock here, there, and everywhere, the miles of rock haul get trimmed back just to do spots. So we'll prioritize it, but if it's going to do this to us a couple more times, then we probably won't do the rock haul. We'll do a lot more spot rocking just because there's a need.
Okay.
Because you guys know, weather like this, the rock roads just consume rock.
Wasn't good yesterday.
No, so, but, no, that's
Okay.
it for me today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Resolution 2022-8, Master Matrix Resolution. This is a resolution we have to do every year if we want to be part of the Master Matrix evaluation for confinements. If we don't do this, then we can't follow the DNR guidelines. And we've been doing that as long as I've been on Charlie and I've been on the board.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, and I didn't notice anything different than last year's. Do you know anything more, Mark?
No.
Okay.
I haven't been notified of
Do you have any
changes.
questions? It's a formality that we need to do. And it has to be done here before the 1st of February. So, got a motion to approve
Make
the
the
master
motion.
matrix as presented.
Second.
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda is a 2080 agreement amended and restated for ambulance commission. What we have in front of us is, there's a little handout. I was gonna go through. If you remember, a couple months ago, we passed a resolution in support of the ambulance commission and kind of we're calling it a bridge concept to participate in the commission to give the emergency management, essential services, time to look at an ambulance partnership within the county. And the local provider, Medevac, is looking to retire in the next few years. We want to make sure they stay and can help us through this time in order to get a vote of the people and time to work on a countywide ambulance system in cooperation with our volunteers. So the purpose of this agreement, where we being the county, would be part of the Shelby County Ambulance Commission. This is a 2080 agreement with the City of Harlan and Merchant Medical Center. It acts as a bridge. Costs have increased significantly due to the challenges in recruiting EMS personnel. Again, Medevac is looking at retiring in the next 4 years. There's been a stakeholders group, we call it the Ambulance Ad Hoc Committee, cities, mayors, the county, the hospital, volunteers, Sheriff's Department, EMS Department, EMA Department, all those main stakeholders are a part of that. They brought a resolution, or we passed a resolution just last week at pursuing EMS as an essential service. That vote would go to the people November of this year. And with a successful vote, the new model would start July 1 of 25. Some people might say, well, what takes so long? Once it's passed, then the taxes won't be assessed till that next year, and we won't start receiving the money. We get part of it in October, the other part in March or April the next year. So by then you're up to, you get the second part of the money in early spring of 2025, and so by July 1st is when we would have the personnel and everything in place if the vote is approved. The composition of the board is 2 city representatives, 2 hospital representatives, 2 county representatives, which would be a supervisor, and the EMA board chair, which is Neil Gross, and I volunteered to be the representative for the county. They also have a trauma service medical director that's part of that. The funding is divided. The City of Harlan pays 27%, the hospital pays 55%, and the county pays 18%. Our 18% is right at around $68,000. So we would have that for the next 3 years until a service is put in place countywide. The commission, hopefully if a vote is approved, would dissolve July 1st of 2026, because then we would have everything in place. Alex, do you have anything to add, or what I've missed, or Gene, you're part of the 2080 agreement? Okay. I know Marcus, you have been a part of putting the 2080 agreement together. Do you have any concerns or something we missed?
No, it was basically to add the county to the current 2080 agreement that was between the city and the hospital. And so that was the main purpose of it.
Right.
Make the county a stakeholder in it.
Yeah, it's a good partnership. It really, there's a couple things driving it. It's not just EMS. It's hard to get the personnel. Medevac's retiring, but also it's a crisis, not just in Iowa, but across the country, of volunteers. When you see your volunteers in your community, please thank them. They have saved each community, the county's millions and millions of dollars with their volunteer time that now we're really not going to have that so much anymore. And when people dial the 911, they expect an ambulance there within minutes, and without this service, that's not going to happen. And in some counties, the volunteer base is left, and they have to depend on that ambulance service to come 45 minutes to an hour away from the big cities. If that's what the people here want, but they need to understand that's what it would be like if we don't get something in place here. We're trying to be proactive. We're lucky we got by as long as we have, in my opinion. So, with that said, do I have a motion to agree to the 2080 agreement as stated for the Ambulance Commission?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Motion by Charlie, second by Bryce. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Any budget discussions, Mark?
No, other than the difficulties that are faced every year, we're addressing those, and we're trying to get outside help for guidance,
Yep.
just to make sure we get it right,
Yep.
because there's a lot of moving parts in that thing. There
Okay.
just are.
So, yeah, you'll be reaching out to our auditor, see if they can come
They've
up.
agreed to look at it,
Yep,
and we'll get started
okay,
next week, we hope,
okay. And then
because that
Probably.
deadline hits fast.
yeah,
We,
probably the next
Even though it's the
meeting,
first
we should be able to
April.
set the max levy
that would be nice.
date, yeah. That's kind of be a goal.
All the information's there, it's just sorting it out.
Okay. I just made some notes. One of the next two meetings, we need to put the comp board recommendation on the agenda. And you and I need to look at the timeline for the EMS that Marcus had put together. I think the next thing we got going on was for in March, so we need to look at that and make sure we staying on schedule.
Yeah, not being on any of those commissions or boards with the EMS, to me, the sooner we get the recommendation how much money we're gonna need, the better. Then we
Yeah.
can just do it. And
Well,
that's the piece we're waiting for, and I know that's like a budget, that's
But we have
not
to set-
something you just decide a number
We have
and
to set
leave.
notices and stuff up before we even, because we have to have a hearing on that, so. Yeah, maybe after the meeting, let's just take a quick glance at that, see where we're
Oh, I
at.
don't
Okay.
have, okay.
Okay. You guys have anything else? Anybody from the public?
No.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everybody.